I turned 30 and threw myself a party. Nobody came. A week later, Mom sent an invite. Dad's 50th birthday, $1,800 per person. Venmo me. Not even a sorry. Just a bill. I sent $1 with a note. Congratulations. I changed the locks, blocked every number. 2 days later, my sister tried to access the joint account, blocked. Then they reported me as a missing person. Police showed up at my door. I turned 30 and decided to throw myself a party. I didn't expect much, just a few family members, drinks, and maybe some laughter to mark the milestone. I booked a cozy bar lounge, bought a cake, and sent out the invites. As the evening crept closer, I checked my phone repeatedly. 7 p.m., nothing. 8 p.m. Still nothing. By 9, it was clear no one was coming. I looked at the bartender who gave me a sympathetic half-smile. You all right, man? I forced a laugh. Yeah. Just running late, I guess. He nodded and set a whiskey in front of me on the house. I thanked him, cut a small slice from the untouched cake, and ate it alone, pretending not to notice the pitying glances from other patrons. At around 10, I finally gave up. I packed up the cake, left a tip, and walked home, replaying every message I sent. Did I do something wrong? Was there an inside joke I missed? A week later, I was in the middle of a work call when my phone buzzed. A group text from Mom. I swiped to read it. Hey, family. Your dad's 50th birthday is coming up. We're doing it at the Lakeside Resort. It'll be an unforgettable night. Cost is $1,800 per person. Please Venmo me by Friday. Love you all. I blinked at the screen. Was this some sort of prank? No mention of my birthday. No apology for the party they ignored. Just a demand for money. Then my sister chimed in. Already sent, Mom. Can't wait. Dad will love it. My brother followed. Same here. Looking forward to it. I felt something snap. I didn't even get a happy birthday from any of them. No text, no call. But now I'm supposed to shell out nearly $2 for Dad's birthday. I thought about saying something, but instead, I just opened Venmo, sent $1, and added a note. Congratulations. Then I changed the locks on my door, blocked every number in the family group chat, and sat down with a heavy sense of relief. 2 days passed. Nothing. I almost thought they'd taken the hint until I got an alert from my bank. Unauthorized attempt to access the joint account. I couldn't help but laugh. Of course, I logged in, closed the account, and moved the remaining funds to a private one. A minute later, my sister tried calling from a different number. I didn't pick up. Then on the third night, just as I was settling in with a movie, there was a loud rapid knock at the door. I checked the peephole. 2 police officers. I opened the door cautiously. Can I help you? The taller officer cleared his throat. We received a report about a missing person. Are you Tim Blake? I stared at them, trying to make sense of the words. Yes, but I'm not missing. The shorter officer glanced at his notes. Your family reported you missing. They said they haven't been able to reach you for days and were worried. I laughed, the sound more bitter than amused. Did they also tell you I blocked them? The officers exchanged a look. The taller one spoke again. Mind telling us why? I sighed, rubbing my forehead. They've been trying to access my accounts and take money. I just blocked them to protect myself. The shorter officer raised an eyebrow. So you're okay? Just avoiding contact. Exactly. I replied firmly. I'm not missing. I'm just done. They hesitated. Would you be willing to call them and let them know you're okay? It would clear things up. I thought about it for a second. Then I shook my head. No. If they keep harassing me, I'll file a restraining order. The officers nodded, clearly relieved they weren't dealing with a crisis. Understood. Let us know if the situation escalates. When they turned to leave, I felt a strange sense of victory until one of them paused at the door. Mr. Blake, one last thing, the taller officer said, his tone suddenly more serious. If your family can't reach you, they might escalate this. I frowned. What do you mean by that? People can do desperate things when they feel cut off. If they keep calling us, or worse, trying something else, you should be prepared. They left, and I stood frozen at the door. This wasn't over. It was just beginning. I sat on my couch, staring at my phone. For 2 days, nothing. Silence. I thought they got the message. But then it started. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. Another one, Mom. Declined. Then Dad, declined. Finally, a text. How could you do this to us? Your father is devastated. I tossed the phone aside, trying to breathe. They were trying to guilt-trip me, the same old game. But I was done. A pounding at the door shattered the silence. I looked through the peephole. Mom. Her face was tight, lips pressed into a thin, angry line. I opened the door just enough to speak. Go home. Oh, now you're hiding. Her voice was sharp. Your father is beside himself. He thinks you've lost your mind. I'm perfectly sane, I replied, voice cold. I just finally decided I'm done being your bank account. Bank account. We are your family, Tim. She tried to push the door open, but I kept my grip firm. You don't turn your back on family. I didn't turn my back. I just stopped paying for your lifestyle. Her eyes flashed. So this is about money to you? After everything we've done for you? I laughed. Everything you've done? Do you mean the guilt trips? The constant demands? The fact that you couldn't even text me on my birthday but had no problem asking me for nearly $2 for Dad's party? That was different. She snapped. Your father deserves a celebration. He's done so much for you. Done so much. Like what? Dismissed me every time I tried to share good news. Ignored me when I needed support. Or maybe you mean how you never had a problem spending my money but couldn't even pretend to care. Watch your mouth. She hissed, her hand gripping the door. You are not too old for me to what? Guilt me. Manipulate me. Those tricks don't work anymore. A car pulled up behind her, Dad's. He stepped out, looking every bit the disappointed patriarch. Tim, his voice was low, heavy with fake disappointment. What are you doing? Why are you acting like this? I'm acting like someone who's tired of being used. You're making this all about money, he shouted, finally losing his calm facade. Family is about sacrifice, about support. I shook my head. No. Family is about respect, and you never had any for me. Respect. Mom laughed, a bitter, sharp sound. We've done everything for you, and this is how you repay us. Everything for me? You mean letting me pay for your house? Your vacations? Sarah's wedding? Ethan's college? Or how you didn't even bother showing up for my birthday? Your birthday? Dad scoffed. You're 30. Grow up. Yeah. Grow up and keep paying your bills. Not anymore. He moved closer, voice lowering. We raised you. Fed you. Educated you. You owe us. I owe you nothing, I snapped. Not a cent. Not a minute. Nothing. Mom's voice cracked. You're destroying this family. No. I'm just not letting you destroy me. Suddenly, another car pulled up. My sister, Sarah, storming out. Are you happy now? Mom's been crying all morning. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof. Spare me the drama, Sarah. I shot back. This is what you all do. You play the victim whenever I stop giving you what you want. You're so selfish, you know that, she spat. You always think you're better than us. No. I just finally realized I deserve better than this. Fine. Go be alone then. She screamed, turning to my parents. Let's go. Let them rot. But before they got into their cars, Mom turned back one last time. Her face twisted with fury. You'll come to understand this one day, Tim. You're going to come crawling back, begging for forgiveness. I smiled. Don't hold your breath. They left, tires screeching, and the silence that followed felt like a cold, clear sky after a storm. I leaned against the door, my pulse racing. Then my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it until I saw the notification. Unauthorized login attempt on your bank account. My heart skipped a beat. They were trying to hack my account. Another notification: password reset request received. They were desperate. But they didn't understand. The more they pushed, the harder I'd push back. I didn't wait. I opened my banking app and double-checked everything. Every account. Every credit card. Locked. Two-factor authentication on everything. Then I went further. I called the bank. Yes. This is Tim Blake. I want to place a security hold on any joint accounts with my family's names. Mr. Blake, are you certain? This will restrict their access entirely. I'm counting on it. The next call was to the mortgage company. My name was still on the house my parents lived in. I co-signed years ago another favor they begged for. I wasn't even sure they were still paying it off. I need to temporarily freeze any changes to the mortgage account under Tim Blake's name, I instructed. Understood, sir. But this may prevent the account holder from making payments. Good. As I hung up, my phone buzzed again: unknown number. I let it ring, but the messages followed. Tim, what are you doing? You're going to ruin everything. Mom, you have no idea what you're starting. Sarah, I ignored them. They wanted chaos. I would give them chaos. Then, an email from my lawyer. He was brief and to the point. Tim, your family has tried to remortgage the house without your consent. They need your signature. I blocked the attempt, but they may try something else. My jaw tightened. So they were trying to take full ownership behind my back. Of course. Another call. This time, I picked up. Tim, it's Dad. His voice was low, almost calm. A fake calm, like a storm about to break. Make it quick. Why are you doing this? Freezing the mortgage. Your mother is in tears. We're your family. No. I was your bank account, and now that's over. This is ridiculous. You're hurting everyone. I'm protecting myself. I saw the remortgage attempt. I know what you're trying to do. Silence. Then a sigh. We're trying to fix things, Tim. You're the one making it impossible. Fix things. Or just take everything while you still can. You're a burden. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but it wasn't fear. It was rage. They thought they could keep using me, draining me, then tossed me aside. No. Not anymore. I called my lawyer. John, I want to sell my share of the house. I want it done fast. Tim, that will force them to either buy you out or sell the house. Perfect. Within an hour, he had sent the paperwork. The message was clear. Either they paid me my share or they'd lose the house. Another text lit up my phone. You really want to do this, Tim? Sarah, you're going to destroy everything. Mom's been crying all day. I responded, I'm not destroying anything. I'm just taking back what's mine. Silence for an hour, then a new message. Fine. You want a war? You got it. I laughed. They were so sure they could scare me, but I had more ammunition. I logged into my email and started a new draft. Subject, financial audit, family expenses. Body, Dear John, I want a full audit prepared of every expense I've covered for my family over the last 5 years. Mortgage payments, loans, credit card debts, education fees, everything. I want it itemized with dates and amounts. I hit send. They wanted to see what I'd done for them. Fine. I'd show them in cold, hard numbers. But I wasn't done. I went through my messages, screenshots, and bank statements, collecting every proof of their manipulation, their pleas for money, their insults. They thought I was weak. That I'd break. But they were about to learn what desperation really looked like. Another loud, insistent knock on the door. I checked the peepholes, Sarah and my father. Their faces twisted with anger. Tim, open this door. Dad shouted, his voice muffled but furious. Get out of here. I yelled back. We need to talk. Sarah screamed. You can't do this. I already did. You think you can ruin us and walk away? Dad knocked on the door loudly. You think you're so smart? I'm smarter than you thought, I shot back. Now get off my property before I call the police. Silence. A heavy, thick silence. Then Sarah's voice, low and sharp. You'll see what happens next. They stormed away, and I watched through the window as they argued by their car, pointing toward my apartment. Another text flashed. This won't end well for anyone. I smiled. They had no idea what they'd started. For the first time in years, I was free. No calls. No messages. No guilt trips disguised as family support. Silence. I filled my days with work, finally catching up on projects I'd ignored. I started going to the gym again, reconnected with a few friends, the ones who didn't disappear at the first sign of trouble. But the silence never lasted. It started with an email from my lawyer. My share of the house had been sold, but it wasn't as simple as I thought. The house wasn't even fully theirs. It was still under a heavy mortgage. And because I co-signed that mortgage, they couldn't sell it without my signature. But instead of asking for my help, they tried to remortgage it without my knowledge. I blocked that attempt. So they had one choice left: sell the house, clear the mortgage, and pay me back. But that wasn't enough. Even if they sold the house, it would only cover the mortgage and a small part of what they owed me. I got the financial audit I requested. Every penny I'd paid for them over the years. Mortgage payments, $78,000. Car loan for Dad, $15,000. Sarah's wedding, $22,000. Ethan's college tuition, $36,000. Emergency family support, $51,000. Total, $202,000, $100,000, nearly $250,000, and that didn't even include the money I lost trying to please them. I sent the audit to our family group chat with a single message. I want it all. Every cent. And that's when the chaos began. First, a call from my father. You've lost your mind. We're your family. You stopped being family the moment you treated me like an ATM. Where do you expect us to get this money? Figure it out. Sell the house, sell the cars, I don't care. You owe me. You're going to destroy us, Tim. No. I'm just taking back what's mine. Next, a text from Sarah. You're so selfish, you know that. Mom is sobbing. Dad looks like he's dying. Are you proud of yourself? Pay up, Sarah, or don't. But I'm done. Mom called, her voice cracking with desperation. Tim, please. We can't just give you $202,000. We don't have it. Then sell everything. Or start working for once. We raised you. We gave you everything. No. I paid for everything. And now you will too. Days turned into weeks. My lawyer kept me updated. They put the house on the market, a quick sale, but the market was slow. The price wasn't enough to cover the mortgage and my demand. So they sold the cars. First, Dad's SUV. Then Mom's sedan. Finally, even Sarah's car, the one I helped her buy. But it still wasn't enough. I thought they would give up, but they didn't. Instead, they went to family, begging for loans, spending their own twisted version of the story. Tim betrayed us. Tim is ruining our lives. Some relatives refused. Others lent them small amounts out of pity, but it wasn't enough. Finally, a call from Dad. His voice was raw, almost unrecognizable. Tim, we sold the house. We sold the cars. We even pawned Mom's jewelry, and we still don't have enough. Then you keep selling. I want every cent. Silence. Then a broken laugh. You know, you're killing us. No. You killed yourselves the day you decided I was just a bank account. 2 days later, the transfer arrived. $202,000. Every cent. I stared at the number, felt the rush of satisfaction, but also a cold emptiness. I won. But what did I win? Then, another text from Sarah. You destroyed everything. Mom is in tears. Dad won't speak. We have nothing. Are you happy now? Yes. But they weren't done. They tried one last thing. Another text from my mother. Tim, we need to talk. You can't just abandon your family like this. I didn't abandon anyone. I took back what's mine. Family isn't about money, Tim. No. But it was for you. And now it's not. I blocked her number. I blocked Dad. I blocked Sarah. Then I went to the family group chat, scrolled to the top, and hit leave group. For a moment, there was a twisted peace. Silence. Real silence. But not for them. I got one last email from my lawyer. They were evicted from the house. Couldn't pay rent. Couldn't secure a new loan. Homeless. Broken. The family that once used me to stay comfortable was now shattered, and I felt nothing. No guilt. No pity. Just freedom. For the first time in years, I was no one's bank account. I was just me. Days turned into quiet evenings. My phone stopped buzzing. My thoughts stopped racing. I wasn't waiting for the next demand. I was just living. I hadn't been to the bowling alley in years. But tonight, when my colleague suggested it, I didn't hesitate. Life had become quiet, calm, free. No desperate calls. No guilt trips. Just peace. Tim, you're up, someone shouted. I grabbed the smooth, familiar weight of the bowling ball. Neon lights danced across the polished lanes. I lined up, took a breath, and rolled. Strike. Wow, Blake. You're a natural. A coworker laughed, clapping me on the back. I smiled genuinely, but then I saw him 2 lanes over. A man, hunched, graying, struggling with a ball that swerved into the gutter. He rubbed his face, looking older, smaller, but I recognized him instantly. My father. My chest tightened. I thought about leaving, pretending I hadn't seen him. But he looked up. Our eyes met. Shock. Shame. Then something else. Regret. He hesitated, then walked toward me. His step slow, uncertain. Tim, I didn't think I'd see you here. I didn't think you'd want to. He glanced at the empty lane next to him. Would you play around? I could have said no. But I didn't. I nodded. We played in silence. My strikes, his misses. Each roll felt like a reminder of the distance between us. Everything's gone, you know, he muttered. The house. The cars. Your mother's staying with Sarah. We've lost it all. I know. I thought we'd be fine. I thought you'd always be there because you used me. I did, he whispered, voice cracking. And I'm sorry. I failed you. I failed all of us. A bitter laugh slipped out. You think an apology changes anything? No. But I need you to know I was never strong. Not like you. I pretended I hid behind you. His words hung between us, raw and heavy. I spent years trying to be good enough for you, I said, my voice low. But I was never more than your bank account. I know. His gaze fell. I was jealous. My own son better than me. And I tried to take everything you had. A wave of anger surged, but it faded as I watched him. Not the towering figure from my childhood, but just a man. Small, defeated. Why are you telling me this now? Because I have nothing left to hide behind. And because I'm proud of you, Tim. I always should have been. Silence. The crash of pins echoed around us. I walked to the lane through another strike. The thunder of the pins felt like a release. I'm not coming back, I said quietly. I know. He hesitated, then held out a trembling hand. For a moment, I didn't move. But then, slowly, I reached out and shook it. His grip was weak, but real. I turned to leave, the neon lights flickering over me, the noise of crashing pins fading behind. I didn't look back. Outside, the night air was crisp, the city alive. I breathed in, feeling a weight lift from my shoulders. For the first time, I wasn't angry. I wasn't trapped. I was just free.